Hello, my dears. Last week, I stopped by to visit my old friend Margaret. We hadn't seen each other in a few months, and I was so looking forward to our chat over a cup of tea. Margaret is one of the most meticulous women I know. Her home has always been a model of order, the floors gleaming, not a single wrinkle on the cushions. But when she opened the door for me and I stepped inside, I smelled it. A faint, almost imperceptible, but unmistakably recognizable scent. It wasn't the smell of dust or stale food. It was that old person smell. A mix of something musty, a little greasy, and Swedish like old paper. I noticed how Margaret, always so confident, seemed a bit hunched over. She caught my fleeting glance and said quietly, "I know, Gloria. I smell it too. I wash, I clean, I air the place out, but it doesn't go away. It feels like old age itself has moved into my house." Her words struck me right in the heart because I knew exactly what she was talking about. This smell isn't just an annoyance. It's a silent thief that steals our confidence. It makes us feel invisible, old, as if we've already been written off. It makes our grandchildren wrinkle their noses when they come to visit, and our friends keep a polite distance. We start to feel ashamed of our homes, and then of ourselves. We buy expensive air fresheners, light-scented candles, but it's like spraying perfume in a musty closet. You just end up with lavender-scented mustiness. But what if I told you that the problem isn't your house, and it's not that you're a bad housekeeper? What if I told you that the source of this smell is hidden in one single tiny place on your body that 99% of us completely ignore? And that you can get rid of this smell in less than 3 minutes a day. I'm Gloria King, and today I'm going to reveal a secret that doctors don't talk about, and that you certainly won't read in magazines. We're going to talk about 12 truths that will help you permanently get rid of the smell of old age and bring freshness, lightness, and radiance back into your home and your life. I will share stories with you, scientific facts you never suspected. And of course, at the very end, I will reveal that secret place and show you a simple 3-minute ritual that will change everything. If you're familiar with this feeling of helplessness, if you're tired of fighting an invisible enemy, stay with me. Because today, we're not just taking back fresh air, we're taking back our dignity. Let's start with the biggest lie we tell ourselves. This smell is just a sign of old age, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's not true. My friend from Ohio, Susan, repeated this like a mantra. "What do you expect, Gloria? I'm over 70, she'd say, when I delicately hinted that her apartment had become a bit stuffy. She had resigned herself to it. She decided that this smell was as inevitable an attribute of age as gray hair or wrinkles. But this is a dangerous misconception. By accepting the smell, we begin to accept other things. Weakness, invisibility, the thought that our best days are behind us. Science tells us that this specific odor is caused by a chemical compound called 2-Nonenal. It forms when fatty acids on our skin oxidize. In our youth, our skin has natural antioxidants that keep this process in check. But as we age, this protection weakens and 2-Nonenal production increases. And here's the most insidious part. It doesn't wash away with regular soap and water. It's fat-soluble, and it's very persistent. It settles on our skin, hair, clothes, bedding, and furniture. It permeates our home. But knowledge is power. Now that we know the cause, we can fight it. This smell is not a sentence. It's just a chemical reaction, and we have everything we need to neutralize it. Stop thinking that you can't influence anything. You can, and today I'll show you how. This is the first and most important truth. Old age is not a smell. Old age is when you stop believing you can change anything. The second truth I realized concerns our most intimate space, our bedroom, and more specifically, our bed. We spend a third of our lives in it, but we rarely consider that it becomes the main incubator for the smell. At night we sweat, our skin secretes oils, and dead cells are shed. All of this is absorbed by our sheets, pillowcases, and worst of all, our pillows and mattresses. My neighbor, a lovely woman named Dorothy, always complained about poor sleep. She said she woke up feeling heavy, as if the air in her bedroom was stale. She changed her bedding every week, as one should. But one day I asked her, "Dorothy, how long has it been since you washed your pillow?" She looked at me in amazement. "Washed my pillow? Gloria, I didn't even know that was possible." She had been using the same pillow for almost 10 years. When we took off the pillowcase, the pillow was covered in yellow stains and had that characteristic musty odor. Pillows, comforters, mattress protectors, they are real sponges that absorb sweat, oils, and that very Nonenal. Just changing the pillowcase is like putting a clean dress on an unwashed body. The smell remains. So what can be done? First, wash your bedding at least once a week and do it in hot water if the fabric allows. Hot water is better at dissolving fats and killing bacteria. Add half a cup of white vinegar or baking soda to the wash. They are excellent at neutralizing odors. Second, wash your pillows and comforters at least 2 or 3 times a year. Most modern pillows are machine washable. Just check the label. And third, ventilate. Every morning when you make your bed, don't rush to cover it with a bedspread. Open the window, fold back the comforter, and let the bed breathe for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant and odor killer. Dorothy followed my advice. She bought new pillows and started washing them regularly. She began airing out her bedroom every morning. A month later, she told me, "Gloria, I sleep like a baby, and my room no longer smells like my grandmother's attic." Your bedroom should be your sanctuary, not a warehouse for old smells. Take care of it, and it will take care of your rest and your health. The third truth, and it might seem non-obvious, is that your wardrobe can be your enemy. We women love clothes. We keep dresses we haven't worn in years, sweaters that remind us of our youth, jackets that might come in handy someday. Our closet becomes a museum, but this museum has its own smell. Fabrics, especially synthetics like polyester, are excellent at absorbing and retaining odors. The molecules of Nonenal literally cling to the fibers, and a regular wash can't always remove them. I remember my Aunt Helen. She kept her favorite polyester cardigan in her closet, which she wore almost every day for 20 years. She washed it, of course, but over time, the cardigan developed a persistent, stubborn odor. And that smell permeated all the other clothes in the closet. She would open the door and a cloud of mustiness would billow out. She didn't notice it herself because she was used to it, but others did. What to do? First, and this is the hardest part, conduct an audit. Be honest with yourself. If you haven't worn something in over a year, you probably won't wear it again. Give it away, donate it, free up space. Air needs to circulate in your closet, not stagnate. Second, wash correctly. Don't overload the washing machine. Clothes need to move freely in the drum to get properly clean. Use enzyme detergents. They are better at breaking down fatty and protein-based stains. And again, don't forget the vinegar and baking soda. Third, dry completely. Never put even slightly damp clothes back in the closet. That's a direct path to mildew and a musty smell. If possible, dry your clothes in the sun. Ultraviolet light works wonders. And fourth, pay attention to fabrics. Prefer natural, breathable materials, cotton, linen, bamboo. They absorb fewer odors and are easier to wash. Aunt Helen eventually parted with her cardigan with a heavy heart. She bought herself a new one, a blend of cotton and cashmere. And you know what? She started looking and feeling 10 years younger. Your wardrobe should reflect who you are today, not store the ghosts of the past. Free your closet, and you'll free your life from old smells. The fourth truth concerns the air we breathe in our homes. We often think that if a house smells, we just need to open a window. Airing it out is wonderful, but sometimes it's not enough, especially in older houses or apartments where we've lived for decades. Odors have a way of seeping not just into fabrics, but into walls, carpets, and furniture. My friend John, who is in his 80s, lived in his parents' house. That house was saturated with decades of life. The smells of cooking, tobacco smoke, his father was a smoker, old books, and, of course, that very smell of old age. John was very clean, but no matter how much he cleaned, a heavy, stagnant air hung in the house. The problem was that he was fighting the symptoms, not the cause. And the cause is what I call silent smell accumulators. These are carpets, heavy curtains, and upholstered furniture. Carpets, especially those with long pile, are giant dust collectors. They absorb everything: dust, pet hair, skin particles, and, of course, odors. Regular vacuuming isn't enough. At least once a year, carpets need a deep cleaning. You can call professionals or rent a carpet cleaner from Home Depot. You'll be shocked when you see the color of the water after cleaning. Heavy, dense curtains made of velvet or tapestry also hold odors and dust beautifully. Wash them at least twice a year. If that's too difficult, consider replacing them with lighter, easier to care for curtains or blinds. And finally, upholstered furniture. The sofas and armchairs we've sat on for years absorb everything. Once a week, go over them with a vacuum using the special attachment. And every few months, you can do a simple dry cleaning. Sprinkle the upholstery with baking soda, leave it for a couple of hours, and then vacuum it thoroughly. Baking soda is an excellent odor absorbent. John followed my advice. He ordered a professional carpet cleaning, had the heavy drapes dry cleaned, and cleaned the sofa with baking soda himself. He said that afterward, his house felt like it could breathe again. Stop just masking odors. Find their sources and eliminate them. Your home is an extension of you. Let it be as fresh and clean as your thoughts. The fifth truth, and this is one that almost every woman I know struggles with, is that we often forget about ourselves while focusing on the cleanliness of our homes. We can spend hours scrubbing floors, but forget to clean what truly affects our well-being and, consequently, our scent, our body. And I'm not talking about a daily shower. I'm talking about deep, conscious skincare. As I mentioned, our skin changes with age. It becomes drier, cell turnover slows down, and dead cells accumulate on the surface, mixing with sebum and creating that very 2-Nonenal. Regular soap can't handle this task, so what to do? The answer is simple: exfoliation. This is the process of removing dead skin cells. It's not some trendy spa procedure. It's what our grandmothers did with a coarse washcloth or brush. But we can do it more gently. You don't need expensive scrubs. You can make a wonderful scrub at home. Mix a little sugar or coffee grounds with olive or coconut oil. Once a week, before your shower, apply this mixture to dry skin and massage in circular motions, paying special attention to your back, elbows, and knees. Then rinse it off. Your skin will become incredibly smooth, soft, and most importantly, it will start to breathe. Regular exfoliation not only removes dead cells, but also stimulates blood circulation, improves skin tone, and helps moisturizers penetrate deeper. My friend Diana from Arizona always complained about dry, itchy skin and a dull complexion. She spent a fortune on moisturizers, but they didn't help. I suggested she try gentle exfoliation. A month later, she called me ecstatic. "Gloria, it's a miracle! My skin feels alive again, and I've stopped feeling that constant itch." But the most interesting part, she added, was, "And you know, I think I've started to smell different, fresher." She was right. By removing dead cells, you're removing the breeding ground for the bacteria that create odor. So stop focusing only on the cleanliness of your house. Your body is your home too. Take care of it with love, and it will respond with radiance and freshness. The sixth truth concerns what we eat. Sounds cliché, right? But we often don't connect our diet with how we smell. And the connection is direct. Some foods can increase the production of compounds that, when released through sweat, create an unpleasant odor. My husband, before he left, adored red meat and garlic. He could eat a steak with garlic sauce for dinner, and the next day I could smell it coming from his skin. Foods high in sulfur, such as red meat, garlic, onions, and cabbage, can affect our scent. The same goes for alcohol and caffeine. I'm not saying you have to give up all of these things, but if you've noticed a change in your scent, try analyzing your menu. It might be worth reducing your consumption of these foods. But there's good news too. There are foods that, on the contrary, help our bodies smell fresher. These are foods rich in chlorophyll, the green pigment in plants. Chlorophyll is a natural internal deodorizer. Spinach, parsley, cilantro, dill, kale, all these greens help cleanse our bodies from the inside out. I try to eat a large bunch of greens every day, whether in a salad or a green smoothie. Citrus fruits also affect our scent. Lemons, oranges, and grapefruits help flush out toxins. I start every morning with a glass of warm water with lemon. It not only kickstarts my digestion, but also helps maintain freshness throughout the day. And, of course, water. A sufficient amount of clean water is key to flushing out toxins and maintaining a healthy body odor. Dehydration, on the other hand, concentrates odors. My friend Eleanor from Texas, who is over 70 but always has a delicate scent of freshness about her, says, "Gloria, my secret is simple. Lots of greens, lots of water, and lots of movement." Movement is another important factor. When we sweat during physical activity, we expel toxins. The main thing is to shower right after to wash away the sweat and bacteria. So, pay attention to your plate. What you put inside inevitably shows up on the outside. Nourish your body with fresh, living foods, and it will reward you not only with health, but also with a pleasant, natural aroma. We're halfway there, my dears. We've talked about the importance of changing our mindset, how to care for our bed, wardrobe, and the air in our home. We've touched on the importance of skincare and proper nutrition. These are all important pieces of the puzzle. But now we're getting to the most important part, to the secrets that aren't about general rules, but about specific, targeted actions. And of course, I'm getting closer to unraveling the mystery of that one place that will change everything. So, brew yourself another cup of tea, because we are now moving from theory to the very heart of the practice. The seventh truth, and it might seem strange to you, is the power of the right fabrics that touch your skin, especially at night. I've already talked about bedding, but now I want to dig deeper. It's not just about cleanliness, but about the material. Most of us sleep on cotton sheets. Cotton is a wonderful material, but it has a specific characteristic. It absorbs moisture and oil very well. At night, our skin releases sweat and sebum, and cotton soaks it all up like a sponge. Over time, even after washing, particles can remain in the fibers that create the odor. This is especially true for pillowcases. Think about it. Your face, your hair saturated with care products, the sebum from your scalp, all of it stays on the pillowcase. But there's an alternative that has been a real discovery for me: silk or satin. I know it sounds like a luxury from old Hollywood movies, but believe me, it's one of the best investments in your beauty and freshness. Silk and satin, unlike cotton, don't absorb but repel moisture and oil. Your skin and hair glide over the surface instead of rubbing against it. This not only prevents sleep wrinkles and hair breakage, but also helps maintain cleanliness. The oils and creams you applied at night stay on your skin, not on your pillow. And that 2-Nonenal isn't absorbed as actively into the fabric. I noticed a huge difference when I switched to a silk pillowcase. In the morning, my skin looks fresher, my hair isn't tangled, and most importantly, the pillow smells clean for much longer. The same applies to nightwear. Synthetic pajamas made of polyester or nylon don't let the skin breathe, creating a greenhouse effect and increasing sweat and odor. Cotton is better, but again, it absorbs moisture. The ideal choice is a nightgown or pajamas made of silk, bamboo, or modal. These fabrics allow the skin to breathe, wick away moisture, and have natural antibacterial properties. It's a small change, but it makes a huge difference. When you sleep in the right fabrics, you wake up not just rested, but also fresh. You start the day with a clean slate, not with the smells of yesterday. The 8th truth is the perfume paradox. We women love perfume. A light cloud of fragrance feels like the finishing touch that gives us confidence. And when we start to worry about our own scent, what's the first thing we do? That's right, we apply more perfume. We think that if we smell like roses or jasmine, no one will notice anything else. But this is a huge mistake. I realized this from my friend who, worried about her scent, started to literally douse herself in perfume. The result was a suffocating mixture of her heavy oriental perfume and that same musty note. It was worse than just the natural smell. Why does this happen? First, as I've already said, 2 Nonenal molecules are fat-soluble. They mix with the oils on our skin. When you apply perfume on top of this base, you don't mask the smell. You create a new, complex, and often unpleasant cocktail. Second, as we age, the chemical composition of our skin, its pH, changes. And a perfume that smelled wonderful on you at 30 might unfold completely differently at 70, becoming sharp, sour, or flat. So, should you give up perfume? Of course not, but you need to use it more wisely. Rule number 1, apply perfume only to a clean body, right after a shower on moisturized skin. Rule number 2, less is more. 1 or 2 spritzes on pulse points, wrists, behind the earlobes is more than enough. You don't need to create a perfume cloud around you. Rule number 3, choose lighter fragrances. Heavy, sweet, musky scents can enhance the feeling of heaviness. Try fresh, citrus, green, or light floral compositions. They create a feeling of cleanliness and lightness. And rule number 4, the most important one, apply fragrance to your clothes or hair, not just your skin. A light spray on a scarf, on the hem of a dress, or into the air to walk through the cloud is a wonderful way to wear a scent without mixing it directly with your skin's chemistry. Remember, the purpose of perfume is not to hide something, but to subtly enhance your individuality. The best fragrance is the scent of cleanliness, and perfume is just its elegant complement. The 9th truth is what's hidden in the shadows, in the most ignored place in our home. I'm talking about the space under the sink. Yes, that dark little cabinet in the kitchen or bathroom where we stuff cleaning supplies, old sponges, trash bags, and who knows what else. We rarely look in there and even more rarely clean it. And that's a mistake. This place is a real breeding ground for odors. Think about it. It's often damp from leaking pipes or wet rags. It stores chemicals that can evaporate over time. Leftover garbage can accumulate there. All of this creates a persistent, unpleasant smell that we might not even be aware of, but that permeates the air in the kitchen or bathroom. My friend from California, Jane, couldn't figure out for a long time why her kitchen smelled musty, even though she washed and cleaned everything. One day, I asked her to open the cabinet under the sink. A whiff of mold, old cleaning chemicals, and something sour came out. It turned out she had a small pipe leak, creating constant moisture, and an old sponge forgotten in a corner had started to grow mold. We spent just half an hour tidying it up. We took everything out, threw away expired products and old rags. We wiped the inside of the cabinet with a vinegar solution to kill the mold and the smell. We placed a small open box of baking soda inside to absorb moisture and odors. Jane was amazed. The smell in her kitchen disappeared. This small, forgotten corner was poisoning the atmosphere in the whole house. So I urge you, take a look under your sink. Spend 15 minutes. Throw out everything you don't need. Wipe down the surfaces. Check for leaks. This simple step can dramatically change the smell in your home. Sometimes the biggest problems are hidden in the smallest, darkest places. The 10th truth, and it's very important for our peace of mind, is to stop associating ourselves with this smell. As I said at the beginning, this smell is not a sign of sloppiness or illness. It's just biochemistry. But society, and often we ourselves, labels it old age, and we start to feel awkward, ashamed. This shame makes us withdraw, avoid hugs, and invite guests over less often. We start to believe that we are this smell. This is destructive to our self-esteem. I saw how my friend Margaret, whom I mentioned at the beginning, started to avoid meeting up with her friends. She was afraid they would smell something. She started wearing only dark, shapeless clothes, as if trying to become invisible. She stopped smiling as widely as she used to. I told her, "Margaret, you are not a smell. You are your wisdom, your kind heart, your stories, your laughter. The smell is just an annoying little thing that can be fixed." It's very important to separate your identity from this problem. Yes, there is a problem. Yes, we will solve it, but it does not define who we are. You are a beautiful, strong, experienced woman. You have lived a long, full life, and no chemical process can undo that. When you stop being ashamed and start treating this as a simple household task to be solved, like a clogged sink, for example, you will feel a huge sense of relief. You will straighten your shoulders again. You will start looking people in the eye again. Because your worth is not in how you smell. Your worth is in who you are. And you are magnificent. The 11th truth, and we're almost there, it's that cleanliness begins not with the body, but with the breath. It sounds poetic, but I mean something very specific. Often, the unpleasant odor we mistake for the smell of old age actually comes not from the skin, but from the mouth. With age, we have more problems with our teeth and gums. Dry mouth, xerostomia, is a common side effect of many medications that older people take. And a lack of saliva is a direct path to the proliferation of odor-causing bacteria. Furthermore, digestive problems like acid reflux can also be a cause. My dentist, a wise elderly doctor, once told me, "Gloria, the health of the entire body begins in the oral cavity." And he's right. What can be done? First, don't skip your dental appointments. Professional cleanings and regular checkups are not a luxury, but a necessity. Second, take even better care of your mouth at home. Brush your teeth twice a day and be sure to use dental floss or a water flosser to clean between your teeth. And something many people forget, clean your tongue. A huge number of bacteria accumulate on it. Use a special tongue scraper or just your toothbrush. Third, combat dry mouth. Drink more water throughout the day. You can use special sugar-free lozenges or sprays to moisturize your mouth. And fourth, pay attention to your digestion. If you suffer from heartburn, consult a doctor. Sometimes solving a stomach problem also gets rid of bad breath. Fresh breath is a huge contributor to your overall freshness and self-confidence. Before you worry about odor from your skin, make sure you've taken care of your breath. And so we've arrived at the final 12th secret, at that one place I promised to reveal. You already know it's not some magical place in your house. It's a place on your body, and you may have already guessed what I'm about to say. But I want to bring everything together and give you a clear, simple 3-minute ritual that will forever change your sense of freshness. This place is the back of your neck, from the hairline down to the top of your back. Why there? Because this is where one of the largest concentrations of sebaceous glands is located. This is where sebum from the scalp runs down. This is where we sweat the most, especially at night. This is the place that is in constant contact with shirt collars, scarves, hair, and the pillow, accumulating oils, sweat, remnants of styling products, and dead cells. It's the perfect environment for the oxidation of fats and the formation of that very 2,9-enol. And it's a place we almost never wash intentionally. We wash our hair, we wash our back, but we just skip over this transitional zone. So, Here is the 3-minute ritual I promised you. Do it every time you take a shower. Minute 1, preparation and exfoliation. Take a soft, long-handled brush or an exfoliating mitt. Apply a little gentle scrub. The sugar and oil one I mentioned is perfect, or just your regular shower gel. For 1 minute, use gentle circular motions to massage the back of your neck and the upper part of your back. Don't scrub until it's red. Your goal is to gently remove dead skin cells and stimulate circulation. Minute 2, cleansing. Rinse the scrub off thoroughly. Now take your cleansing product. Ideally, it should be a soap or gel with a neutral pH and antibacterial components, like tea tree extract or persimmon. The Japanese have used persimmon soap for centuries to combat age-related odor. Lather up the brush or mitt and, for another minute, wash this area thoroughly but gently. Minute 3, finishing. Rinse the cleanser off very carefully with warm, not hot, water. Make sure no foam is left. After your shower, pat the area dry with a clean towel. Don't leave it damp. That's it. 3 minutes, 3 simple steps. But if you make this your daily habit, you will notice an astonishing difference. The smell that seemed so persistent will begin to disappear. Your clothes, your pillow, your home, everything will start to smell fresh. Because you have eliminated the main source of the problem. You have cleaned that one single place. These are the 12 lessons I've learned. They helped me and my friends regain not just freshness, but also confidence and the joy of life. I hope they will help you too. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with a friend who might need to hear this. This was Gloria King. Take care of yourselves and each other. You deserve it. See you soon.